I bought this one on sale for $20 and it's still not worth it to me. I never found any use for this plugin. Top 10 most expensive plugins that I own. Are they worth it? Let's check it out. Hello everyone, welcome back to Mix Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugin special discounts and offers, and of course, if you want to support the channel, but most important, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button, become a MixBuzTV member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses on many different genres, mastering courses, special videos, and a lot more. You also get mix consultations with me via Skype or email. And if you missed the biggest event of the year on the channel happening right now, remix contest for my artist Bella Kelly's latest single Heartbreak Motel with over $30,000 in prizes, and you get a free plugin from Waves just to enter the contest. Links are gonna be in the info box down below. Let's get to the video. All right, this wants to be a quick list, so we'll hear some of the plugins in action and some other I will just mention. My most expensive plugins, which one are worth it and which one are not. I'm basing my list on the retail price, okay, so full price. Many manufacturers have several sales during the year. Right now we are at the end of the year sale and we'll mention some of them. We'll start with the first one, Sound Theory Gullfoss EQ, the intelligent equalizer. We all know this plugin is very famous and we actually have two versions, the master version and the original Gullfoss EQ. This retails at $199. We have a full review of this one on the channel. It's an intelligent automatic advanced equalizer, which is great to both enhance material, whether it's complex material like a mix or single tracks, based on how our brain perceives sound. So it's not really equalization.
Tryna sound like what real sound like. I'm still the same down guy, same down vibes. I know that you heard this. I deserve this after what the hurt did. It done turn out perfect. I'm just tryna sound like what real sound like. I'm still the same down guy, same down vibes. I know that you heard this. I deserve this after what the hurt did. It done turn out perfect. I told you.
The master version has a smaller range, so it allows you to do very small and subtle adjustment. Is it worth it than $199 full retail price? Absolutely yes. This plugin is great when sometimes I receive mixes that are not that great to master, for example, and using this as a first process, even if used very subtly, it gives me a much better starting point for them to process with either plugins or analog. So this would be the first one, Gullfoss EQ. Next one, Soft-Tube Chandler Curve Bender. And I include in this all the other analog EQ emulation by Soft-Tube, which all retail at $249. Are they worth it? Is this worth it? 100% yes. This is one of the best analog emulation plugin, no matter what, compressor, saturator, equalizer, is absolutely great. I love this plugin. In my dedicated video, I named this the king of mid-range, and I stand by that because it's really great to enhance or fix the money range, the mid-range, and that makes it suitable for all genres. And the Curve Bender is by now a classic sounding unit because it has been around forever and has been used on so many records. It's great for two-bus and for mastering.
Tryna sound like what real sound like. I'm still the same down guy, same down vibes. I know that you heard this. I deserve this after what the hurt did. It done turn out perfect. I'm just tryna sound like what real sound like. I'm still the same down guy, same down vibes. I know that you heard this. I deserve this after what the hurt did. It done turn out perfect.
Top and mid-range is kind of have that perfect combination of vintage and modern sound, and he also has great lows. So in my opinion, this is definitely a thumb up. But at the time of this video, there is the end of the year sale for all Soft-Tube products, so you get this one at almost half the price. Next one, Shadow Heel's Mastering Compressor. It looks cool, and it retails at full price at $299. I bought this one on sale for $20. And it's still not worth it to me. I never found any use for this plugin. I'm not even mad because I paid $20, but it was pretty disappointing. I did not find anything special about this plugin. To be honest, I was never a big fan of the real thing, of the hardware either. I think it's a bit overpriced. The Shadow Hills is basically an SSL compressor with 3 different transformers and an opto compressor added on top of it. Now, my problem with both the plugin and the hardware, to be honest, is the VCA section is always too grabby and too jumpy unless you do less than 1 dB of gain reduction. And I've never really found any use for the optical part, at least on two-bus. It can be good on vocals, but nothing special really. At that point, I'm opening an opto compressor plugin, or I'm buying an opto unit without the VCA attached or anything else. The 3 transformers are very subtle, barely audible for the most part on most cases. And if I want an SSL compressor plugin, there's better out there. And like I said, the optical is kind of okay, but to be honest, at $2.99 it would be a no-go for me, absolutely. Like I said, I paid $20 and I'm kind of I could have saved that because I never found a place where to use this thing. Next one, Ozone 9 Advanced. It retails, if I'm not mistaken, at $249. And for me, this is not just a go, but is a hell yes. Because not only you get the main plugin when you can load all the different modules in one instance, but what interests me and I use the most, because I don't think I've ever used the actual main plugin, is that you get all the different modules as a standalone plugin. So you get dynamic EQ, you get multiband dynamics, you get the exciter and the emitter. You know how much I love those. Low end focus is crazy, and so master rebalance. There's a whole bunch of individual plugin that you get, the vintage limiter, the vintage tape, that are absolutely great and to me are a steal. For $249, the Maximizers is one of my most used during mastering among others. So for me, Ozone 9 Advanced is definitely a go, totally worth it. Next one, new entry, and I'm absolutely in love with this plugin. I mentioned it in one of the latest videos, I don't remember which one, is P42 Climax by Pulsar Modular. Stay tuned because I'm gonna do a full review of this plugin and there is a big update that you guys are gonna love it. But this plugin retails at $240 and for me it's totally worth it, especially with the already existing new updates and features, and some of them I actually asked for, and they implemented them, because since the first day that I had this plugin I started using it right away for mixes and masters, and I was using it in mastering and the filters didn't have an on-off switch. There wasn't a way to completely turn them on. I asked them if they could do it and they did it. But it just sounds great and it became one of those secret weapons to increase the apparent loudness and the richness of the material. Let me just give it a quick go on a mix on this. I'm exaggerating, but did you hear how this thing sounds? So $240, thumb up for me. Next one, Softube Vice Mastering Bundle. I'm kind of breaking the rules and it's not one plugin, but it's a bundle simply because it's much, much cheaper if you buy the bundle instead of single plugins, which retails at $840, more or less. At the time of this video, there's again the end of the year sale and you get it for something like 30 to 40% less, so it's a great deal. Is this bundle worth it? I got this question, actually non-related to this video, of course, many times before, and not just yes, but heck yes. If you have any of my mastering courses or if you've seen any of my mastering videos since this bundle came out, 1 to 2 or 3 of the plugins included are always in use. And specifically the DS1, MK3, we did a full course on that actually. The EQP1, the equalizer, the de-esser, and we have in the bundle also the compressor and the limiter. These are 100% industry standard tools that people dreamed of having for years until they became more affordable with the plugins the Softube made. Otherwise, each unit goes between 10 and 15 grand. And you see many of the legendary mastering suite having these tools and there is a reason. Are they replaceable? You can ballpark it, but they are not these. They don't sound like these. You won't get the same polished result that you get with these tools. There's a reason, because they were so popular. So for me, the price is totally worth it. And like I said, you want to see them in action. I have plenty of videos, public and for members only, on how to use these tools, because that's the other thing. They are amazing, but they also have a learning curve. So you need to know how to use them. Definitely worth the price. The little Mag EQ4. Now this one retails at $299 full price. Now, you know I have the hardware sitting here next to me. Now I did my comparisons, but I was using the plugin before having the hardware. Is it a good plugin? Yeah, it is a good plugin. Is it worth $299? No, it's not. Fortunately, the company has deals every other day, so you can definitely get this one on sale. I think it retails probably around $40. I wouldn't pay more than that. That's a price you can pay for this plugin. It's a good plugin. Does it sound like a hardware? No, it doesn't. We can give it a spin really quick. Okay, always level match with something like this, because it's easy to be fooled when you add a little bit of bottom and a little bit of top, the smiley curve, to think that everything sounds better. But when you actually level match, if you have a good mix on your hands, that first excitement that can go away pretty quickly. It's worth the sale price. Do not pay the full price. Next one, Empirical Lab Arson. It retails at $199 in full price. I think there's a sale going on right now, so definitely grab it. Why? Because $199 is well worth the price of this plugin, in my opinion. You know I have plenty of Empirical Lab analog units. I have 2 Fatzos, 2 distressors. I'm more than familiar with their stuff. I've been using it for over a decade right now, and this is basically, in short, the plugin that I use if I have a mix that I have maybe to make a video out of, and I don't feel like turning on the actual unit for the video, and I have to replace my distressor. That's the plugin that I use. So it's definitely a close replacement of the hardware, and that's a big achievement. And if you think about how much the hardware costs, the Arouser at $199, it's not that bad at all. But the great thing about the Arouser is you have variable saturation that the unit doesn't have. You have an attack modification, which is amazing on transient material, which the hardware doesn't have. Does it sound like the hardware? No, it doesn't. But it is an absolutely great plugin with a bunch of added feature that makes it even more versatile, you know, so you will do different things and you will use it in a different way than you do with the hardware. It is of course less forgiving, the saturation is different, but is it totally worth the price tag? It definitely has the Empirical Lab smack. Let's get to the next one. Kind of breaking the rules here again to condense and make the video not too long. All my Oxford plugins. I talked about these plugins, especially the inflator. We have a video, and the Oxford limiter is in my top 10 mastering clipper limiter video, and drum gate, we have a video on that too. These are on the pricey side, but there's again a sale, end of the year sale with big discounts. And are they worth it? Absolutely, yes. I've been using them forever, and the inflator is no secret how much I love that plugin. The Oxford limiter is still one of the dirty little secrets. There's a specific way to use it for super loud masters, and also has a sound that was very popular in the early 2000s when things sounded really loud, but especially certain genres, rock and metal, they had a specific tone that is still considered the best to date, and the Oxford limiter was part of it, at least. And if you mix a lot of recorded real drums, drum gate is absolutely amazing. How easy it is to use, and the results that you get on real acoustic drums when you have to gate it and isolate things, or remove unwanted sounds coming in the microphone, That's hands down my absolute favorite. Out of the three, I'm gonna give a quick spin to the Oxford limiter.
Photo. She bought a bit of money on the back end. She be screaming, "Daddy, put me back in." I ain't got no time, this is Mac in. Girl, player, acting. Now you wanna see about the bird flow? You don't really know that I know. I ain't got no time for the game or the lame. I'ma get it one dime. Photo. Pause. What you really wanna talk about? Pause. How you wanna go and run my life? Pause. If you got the dollar to go get. If you really wanna see me, you know that they gon' hit. If you really got it, pop it, to go get. I ain't wanna talk.
That enhanced slider and other things. Totally worth the price. Oxford limiter, inflator, and drum gate. Sooth 2 by OX Sound. This one retails full price at $220. Not just worth it, but super worth it. This plugin is irreplaceable, nothing else sound, and does what Sooth 2 does. It saved my behind several times when I received like harsh mixes or even harsh recordings to mix. It's great and can be used in mastering, but this is an extremely useful tool for single tracks as well. We all know the plugin, It's Just Magic, is probably the best, the harsher out there, along with Spiff, the other plugin from OX Sound. There's really not much to add to Sooth 2 that hasn't been said. We have a dedicated review video on the channel. It's still one of the most expensive plugins that I own, so it had to make the list, but we all know this. And by the way, this is one of the prizes for the remix contest, for Bella Kelly Heartbreak Motel remix contest. You can win a Sooth and a Spiff license. Now, this one is the TC-VSS4 HD. It's the algorithm directly taken from their System 6000 mastering suite, which is tens of $1,000s, and it retails at $249. This is considered the master of reverbs, pun intended, because many mastering engineers, the rare times that they need a reverb for a mastering job, the VS4 HD is the first choice. Now, there's no doubt that this plugin is of the highest quality out there. It's pristine sounding, has extensive control, and it's very realistic with the spaces. But it's definitely different, and I mean completely different from any other reverb that I usually use for mixing. And I'm including from the same brand the TC-A210 that I have here, and I absolutely love it, or the Valhalla All Day Reverbs, which by the way will be in the cheapest or free plugin list that I already released or will release after this video. It's different from the inputs responses. It's just a whole different beast, and you might not feel it as you feel the cheaper or the lo-fi reverbs that we very often use. I mean, Deverb is still one of the most used reverbs on plenty of records, the stock Pro Tools. It's classy, super refined, and sometimes it might not work, but let's give it a spin really quick.
All I ever wanted was to stand my ground. Big words to confuse and spin your mind around. But every little step just takes me further down. I found my soul just waiting in the lost and found. Babe, it's nothing you did, so stop talking stupid. We gave it a taste, now it's done. I'm out for self-healing, you ain't got that feeling. I am the one that I love. All I ever wanted was to stand my ground. Big words to confuse and spin your mind around. But every little step just takes me further down. I found my soul just waiting in the lost and found. Babe, it's nothing you did, so stop talking stupid. We gave it a taste, now it's done. I'm out for self-healing, you ain't got that feeling. I am the one that I love.
All right, you hear it. It sounds beautiful, especially when you solo it. But I found that in use, it's always a hit or miss in a mix if I'm gonna end up using this or something that is like lo-fi and cheap. Of course, that depends on style. But is it worth the $250? In my opinion, yes, it is. Because when it works and when you need that kind of sound, there's no other reverb that can do it other than the VSS 4 HD. Let's get to the next one. We reviewed this as well. This is the Unisom Mastering compressor from Tone Project. It retails full price at $199, and for what this compressor is, I think it's not just worth it, it might be even cheap. Let's not tell them though. This is probably the most advanced mastering compressor out there, and I mean mastering in the close meaning of the word, so extreme fine detail. Those fine detail that unfortunately many out there think, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. And this compressor is definitely one of the peak of where our technology is at right now. They actually released a saturator based on the IG button here on the Unisom. I didn't try it. I'll probably try it sometime soon, and I'm pretty sure it's great because the control that you have with this compressor is second to none. Even not opening the edit style window, which is almost over my head, and you know, I spent quite some time doing this. It's a great sounding compressor, as in it's for the most part transparent and its compression is organic and the saturation is very subtle, but long story short, this is a list, not a review. Is it worth the money? Well, if you are serious about mastering, then you probably want to have this. For the average guy, and I mean no disrespect, but if you don't have very well trained ears, it's probably going to be hard for you to use it because the changes, for the most part, unless you do something like extreme, are very, very subtle, and they require both very well-trained ears and a good monitoring system. But for those people that can hear the nuances, this is where it's at right now. The video is getting long, so last one is the PSP Old-Timer Multiband. It retails at $199 full price. Is one of my favorite compressors in the box. The Old-Timer was one of my favorite. This one, the Multiband, they really did something special in my opinion. It is totally worth the price. It has a great color and a great saturation, a great action despite being a multiband, so with all the, so to speak, artifacts that a multiband could bring to the table. This is one of the most musical compressors out there. I think it's irreplaceable when you need something that is mellow and yet it gives you control and it's detailed enough. It's for the most part a broad stroke compressor, but it reminds me a slightly more colored version of the TubeTech multiband compressor that, for example, Al Schmidt, rest in peace, used to use on the Tubas, okay? Light use or heavy use, this compressor is really great. I think the price, it's totally worth it, and we can give this one a spin. Nice, dense, and warm. This is definitely the character of this compressor. I think this is it for this video. These were my most expensive plugins that I own. Which one were worth it, which one were not. All the links are gonna be in the info box down below. Like I said, some of them are on sale right now for the end of the year sale, so take advantage of it if you saw something interesting. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below. Let me see what you wanna see on the channel for 2022. Check all the links in the info box down below. Stay safe, subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat, lift me up.